Welcome back, everybody. We're out here at a different location than you guys are used to seeing me set up. We're out in my garage currently because we're reviewing this safe. Now, this safe will not be staying in my garage. As soon as I finish up this review, I'm going to grab some buddies. We're going to move it inside and bolt it down properly as it should be. But I just want to do the review out here so you guys, number one, don't know where I'm putting it in my house. Sort of try to keep some level of secrecy there. And then I think out here with the outside lighting that we have coming through my garage door here, we have pretty good lighting, and you can kind of get a good dimensional size picture, if you will, of the safe in your head. So this is it. This is the Liberty Fatboy Jr. We picked this one up from Gander Mountain recently. I'll tell you the story behind that here in just a second. But one of the most popular safes in America for sure. There's some good reasons for that. However, there are some downsides to it, and there are some things that Liberty has recently addressed to make it better. So just to give you a quick overview here of how it comes. This is how it comes from the store. So it doesn't come with the rifles in there, of course, but all the shelving and configuration that you see here does come with it. You can see we have our fire seal here around the edges. And when I was researching doing this video, I saw some actual documented cases where this actual safe, the Fatboy Jr., had been in a fire and what the inside and the outside looked like. So it was pretty impressive there in terms of the fire rating. You can see it all the way around. This actually swells up this seal. It swells up, I believe, 7 times once it gets above 212 degrees Fahrenheit to expand and ensure that the fire obviously won't come in the safe as best it can. I think this one here has a 60-minute fire rating, but from testimony and from stuff we've seen, it might actually go a little bit further. It has all these different shelves in here. These are removable and reconfigurable. I will 100% be reconfiguring this. We'll show you that here in just a second. And also comes with a bolt down kit because, like we said, it is going to be bolted down. So on that note, let's talk about why you'd want to bolt your safe down, right? So this safe here is 760 pounds, I believe. While that's a lot, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to grab some friends and we're going to bring it inside. So if it was just in your house, a couple burglars and their friends could take it right outside. So you definitely want to bolt it down. It also helps if you have flooding. To have a flat surface on the bottom that's bolted down to the floor. It creates somewhat of a seal and is less likely that in the event of a flood, there would be damage, I should say. But anyway, so it comes with this bolt down kit, which is quite nice. You don't have to go out and buy them. Some safes don't come with that. Set that off to the side. It does come with this gun rack here. I've seen people put all different types of things in here. You don't obviously have to put firearms in there. You can put whatever. There's document cases here, which I will probably be putting documents in there as well, but you can stash your pistols in there. For instance, we have a little J-frame here, goes in there just fine, but of course larger pistols will fit in there as well. Now let me try to change the camera angle and show you a little bit more of the inside. Down here on the bottom, we have some things going on that I wanted to point out. We have the bolt down points, which are underneath these black things right here. So you lift these up and that's where you're going to bolt your safe down. As it comes shipped, it's actually bolted down to a piece of wood. So you actually have to take the bolts out anyway to remove it. So again, we're going to do that before we bring it inside. But so 4 points that are already pre-drilled, so you don't have to drill through your safe or anything like that and have to worry about it. Additionally, one difference with the Fatboy versus the Fatboy Jr., obviously this is the Junior, is that it doesn't come with an electrical kit. Electrical mounting kit on it, so you can purchase those separately. I think they're like 45 bucks or 48 bucks, something like that, online. However, there is a hole right here in the back. I'm kind of pointing at it. I'll take a shot of the back side of the safe. If you want to run wires through it, like this one here, we have a goldenrod that I'm going to be putting in there. I'm a big fan of goldenrods. They work well. For those unfamiliar, new safe potential owners out there, what they do, to give you sort of a quick rundown of a goldenrod or any of their products, what they do is they produce heat. So that heat, the hot air will help push any moisture out of the air and create a seal so that way any cold, damp air can't come in because the hot air is going to push it out. So that's the theory behind them. What that does is prevents rust on your firearms, which are valuable. So that's one way to prevent rust. There's some folks that use dehumidifier packs and things like that. That works fine too. I just like the goldenrod because it's simple. You never have to refill it. You never have to do any maintenance to it. It just always works as long as you keep power going to it. If you ever do a Google search or read forum posts about which safe should I get, one thing that you're going to find is a lot of discussion about what an actual safe is versus a residential security container. I'll put a link down below so you guys can actually see the definitions of that and let you guys debate that below in the comments whether or not this is actually a safe. However, I will point out that on the door here it has all the ratings of the safe, and it does say it's security container rated. So you can see the photo right here with the serial number. We also have our fire rating specs that are pictured right here on the door, some things we already mentioned. So in terms of construction and security and all that stuff, I mentioned it's already 760 pounds. The safe is made of 11 gauge steel. So on some more expensive safes, you're going to see a thicker steel. On less expensive safes, you're generally going to see a thinner steel. One change, if I can do that. One change that Liberty has made to this safe over the years is they've improved the bolt layout, at least in my opinion. So when these initially came out, these bolts, which incidentally on the Junior, Fatboy Junior safe, are 1 inch. Some of the higher end models have 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches. So you pay for, you know, a little additional security, but these are 1 inch bolts and there's 12 of them total. But when these originally came out, they didn't have 12 of them total. So if you guys actually do any research on these and you see dated information from like 2014, 13, 12, whatever the case may be, it's going to tell you a different number. And the reason for that is they've changed and updated it. Basically in the beginning, from what I found from my research anyway, they didn't have bolts on the inside of the door, and basically they just had them on the top, the closing side here, and then on the bottom. Now there's 12, so we do have one here on top, which you can see right here. We have 5 on each side, both sides of the door, which you can see right here. And then we have one on the bottom as well. So that way it protects it against prying. If somebody tips the safe over, which again they shouldn't do because it should be bolted down, but if somebody tips the safe over and tries to pry on a weak spot or something like that, it will give you protection all the way around. Now in terms of that, another thing to bring up is that the safe walls here are constructed of one piece. So one piece of 11 gauge steel. So there's one seam, I believe it's down here in the lower right as you look at it. And then this piece that comes up over the top is the same continuous piece of sheet steel. It goes all the way down. They actually bend it to create it instead of welding on all the sides. So the weld, like I said, I believe is in the bottom right. And then the back plate is welded on as well with one continuous weld, which is what, from my research anyway, from what I know, is what people say is the best. You want the one continuous weld for added strength and security. One thing that's nice about a user configurable safe is that you can set it up for how you need it. So a lot of people, I think, are going to put valuables in here, whether they be gold, documents, silver, jewelry, whatever the case may be, and utilize this shelving the way it comes. Now, reality for myself is a little bit different. I run a YouTube channel where I review guns, right? So I have a lot of guns, particularly long guns, and those take up space. So what I'm going to do here is just reconfigure the shelves a little bit real quick and let you guys see just quickly how we can put guns in there and how you can orient it to your liking and needs. Gangster, high point. That should give you a quick real world look at how many guns you can actually fit in the safe. So we'll put the dimensions up here on the screen so you guys can see exactly how big it is. One thing that's sort of an optical illusion, at least in my opinion, when you look at it, is you think it would be deeper than it is. So it's not all that deep, which is one of the big differences between the Fatboy itself and the Fatboy Junior like we have here. You can see we have right now we have 11 different rifles in here. 3 of them are scoped. So, you know, when they say that you're going to have X amount of rifles that fit in there, when you start adding scopes, bipods, and things like that, sometimes it doesn't always fit. And you can see we pulled one of the drawers out here. This little piece here, if you have like long hunting rifles, or if you drop it down, even for like AR-15s and stuff like that, you can put your muzzle up through there and it'll sort of keep them vertically aligned. I've found, in my opinion, my experience, that you don't actually get more space with that. If you actually stagger up versus down, you get more that can fit in like that. And one thing you saw, I believe, when I was loading them up here, was that these ones were too long even for that configuration. Like for instance, we have this Savage here, which is a bolt action hunting gun. I believe it's got a 22 or 24 inch barrel on there. So that one's going to be a little bit longer, and we had to put it on that side where we took another shelf off. But again, it's user configurable. You can set these up at any different height. It doesn't have to be the height that they came in. And then here we use the door to put some pistols in there. They fit, as you can see, full-size pistols. Like we have the SIG P226 here. Fits in there just fine without issue. it's still the summer here in Carolina, and I'm starting to get kind of hot, honestly, with these garage doors open to give you guys that good lighting. But a couple other things I wanted to cover before we close out the video. So first off, I believe the MSRP on these is $1,699, so $1,699. You absolutely can find them for less when you go shopping, you know, looking for them. We'll close the safe here and talk about a couple other things with the Fatboy Jr. like we have here. One difference between that and the actual Fatboy's color options are limited. I believe right now they only come in black. I know that in the past they came in gray as well, but right now only in black, and they only have a mechanical dial. Now, in my opinion, my personal preference, I actually like that. So nothing to go wrong, no batteries to die, nothing like that. So mechanical lock only. So on that note, let's talk about my experience with this actual safe. So I ordered this safe, like we said, Gander Mountain. They drop it off, and I go to open the safe up, right? So there's like a process you go through, and it's in your manual. It's very simple. Just follow it. If you can read, you'll be good, right? So I went to open it up, and it literally didn't work. The mechanism was jammed shut. So great, right? So I just buy this expensive safe, and the mechanism's closed. It doesn't work. So I actually called Liberty Safe and described my problem to them, exactly what was happening. And the young lady on the phone, the customer service agent, she actually turns out properly diagnosed it. She said that something was probably bound up within the actual mechanism here, and that they were going to call a locksmith in my local area and have them come out and check it out. So they did. A week later, and that's just due to scheduling conflicts with myself being home. A week later, locksmith came out, completely replaced the lock for free because, again, they said something was bound up, and it actually looks like they said it was impacted during shipping. It was kind of like pushed in. So they replaced the entire lock mechanism for free. I chose my own combination, and I paid nothing for it, and that's all part of Liberty's lifetime guarantee. So in service warranty and all that stuff that they offer. So that's certainly a good thing. You don't want to have to use a warranty. Obviously, you'd want it to work, and it was kind of frustrating having to wait a week to be able to do all that. But the fact that they got it up and running, and I paid nothing for it at all, literally, is a good thing. So that's pretty much it, guys. I think I covered most of it. If I didn't, I'll try to annotate it along the way in the video and editing. But yeah, so that's the Liberty Fatboy Jr. safe. Basically, my take on it is that after doing all my research I did on it, was that for the money that you pay for it, it's a good value, right? There are nicer safes. They're going to have a better finish. They're going to have a better interior. They're going to have added features, thicker steel, all that stuff, but you're going to pay more for it, right? So it's like, really, what do you want to pay ultimately, and what do you value for feature set? So it's a large safe. It's going to store a lot of long guns in my house, which is good. It has a good fire rating. It's a decent fire rating, and it's going to deter thieves. Is it possible to break in there if they have power tools? Sure, it is. Power tools and time, they can get in there, but it's going to delay them, and it's going to frustrate them, and hopefully by then my alarm will have gone off, and you know, people would be en route. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions about the safe or anything like that, you can post down below in the comment section like always, but I do appreciate you watching very much. I appreciate you subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. Comments again down below in the comment section or over at my Facebook page as always, and we'll see you guys in the next video.